Good day again, everyone. Welcome to another lecture on question, answers, and why. On the subject, animal science naman, ang pag-uusapan natin for this day. So let's start with question number 1. Sabi dito, it is a disease characterized by swollen face in poultry. So what do you call this disease? Do you call this as fowl pox, CRD, Gumboro, or infectious coryza? So para masagot natin yung tanong na to, we need to identify ano ba kasi yung mga disease that are in the following choices. So let's start off with fowl pox. What is fowl pox? Fowl pox is a viral disease ng poultry. Ang pinaka-main na symptom niya is lesions on the skin and on the mucous membrane. Now, because of this difference, kasi pwedeng lesion on skin or lesion inside the mucous membrane, mayroon din tayong dalawang types of fowl pox, which is the number one would be dry pox. Ang dry pox, makikita natin yan as a wart-like lesions doon sa part nung poultry mo, nung chicken mo. So, lesions doon sa part nung chicken mo na walang feather. So, yun yung dry pox. So it's a dry lesion outside of the animal or in the exterior of the animal, primarily dun sa unfeathered skin niya. Ang wet pox naman is it affects naman yung mucous membrane ng chicken natin. So examples of the mucous membrane would be on its mouth, throat, and sometimes yung respiratory tract. So that would be inside the mouth. Doon natin makikita yung lesion. It would be on the throat. Ang tawag naman sa fowl pox na yon is wet pox naman. Okay? So that's fowl pox. So basically, walang swollen face na symptoms fowl pox. Ano naman ang CRD? CRD stands for chronic respiratory diseases, and it is caused by Mycoplasma gallisepticum. So ang pinaka naapektuhan sa CRD is the respiratory system. Ang symptom niya would be coughing, nagkakaroon ng nasal discharge, and difficulty breathing, yung iyong manok. Yes, may swelling na nangyayari sa CRD, pero yung swelling na to is a secondary symptom because of the infection. And mostly, makikita lang natin yung swelling na yan doon sa mata ng hayop. Like, for example, tayo, kapag inuubo tayo, or meron tayong colds, medyo nagsuswell din yung ating mata. Right? So, ganun din sa CRD. So, may swelling ng mata, but it is not necessarily a swelling of the face. So, CRD is not the correct answer here. We also have Gumboro, or we also term this as the infectious bursal disease. Gumboro is a viral infection sa mga young chicken natin. And ang pinaka-naapektuhan niya is yung organ called the bursa. So the bursa is located near the cloaca of your young chicken. And ang pinaka-function ng bursa is for the immune system. So the healthier the bursa is, that organ is, the higher the immunity of the chicken. Now, when your bursa is affected, then nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating immunosuppression, wherein the immune system goes down, and more than likely your young chicken is now has the propensity to na makakatch ng diseases. So ano yung mga symptoms niya? Ruffled feathers, mapapansin natin magulo yung buhok ng ating chick or ng ating young chicken, kakaroon ng diarrhea, and that they are trembling because of this disease. So there's no swelling again for Gumboro. So we are now left with the one choice, which is infectious coryza. And tama naman. Ang infectious coryza is a bacterial infection caused by Avibacterium paragallinarum. Okay? And it is characterized by symptoms such as swelling of the face, as we can see here in the picture. Kakaroon din ng nasal discharge and difficulty breathing. So the swelling is caused by inflammation. Nagkakaroon ng pamamaga and accumulation ng fluid dito sa area ng manok na to, kung nagkakaroon ng fluid, accumulation of fluid in the tissues around the face of the chicken, kaya namamaga yung kanilang pa. So the correct answer for question number 1 is infectious coryza. Let's move with question number 2. A feed conversion ratio of 1.9 means that letter A, the animal ate 1 kilogram feed to produce 1.9 kilos of gain. Letter B, the total feed intake of your broiler is 1.9 kilos. Letter C, the broiler ate 1.9 kilos feed to produce 1 kilo of gain. Or letter D, the broiler is at 1.9 kilos. We cannot answer this question again without discussing what is feed conversion ratio. Dapat alam natin yan. Ano ba kasi ang feed conversion ratio? A feed conversion ratio is a measure of efficiency ng pagkain, ng feed, as it translated to the weight of the animal. So it is calculated by the total quantity of feed consumed by your animal, by your broiler in this case. I-divide natin siya sa body weight gain, dun sa gain na nakuha niya when the animal ate such amount of feed. So for example, let's say yung hayop mo ay kumain ng 2 kilos of feed. And sa 2 kilos na yan, nag-gain siya ng 1 kilo. Ang kanyang FCR now would be 2 divided by 1. That would be 2 kilos. So anong ibig sabihin ng 2 kilos na to? Ang ibig sabihin yan, yung broiler mo or yung chicken mo should eat. So they should eat 2 kilos of feed para ma-convert into 1 kilogram of gain. Yun ang ibig sabihin yan. So the lower the FCR, the better. Right? The lower the FCR, the better. Because the lower the FCR, it means na mas maganda yung efficiency, that the animal requires less feed to gain weight. So balikan natin yung question. Letter A, the animal ate 1 kilos of feed to produce 1.9 kilos of gain. Basically, that's baliktad, right? Kasi ang sinasuggest mo dito, kapag daw yung hayop mo kumain ng 1 kilogram feed to produce, kapag kumain siya ng 1.9 kilogram of feed, it can produce 1.9 kilos of gain, right? So at some point, you have to ask yourself, this means that the animal consumes 1.9 kilos of feed to gain 1 kilogram of weight. So hindi yan yung tamang sagot. Letter B naman, the total feed intake of the broiler is 1.9 kilos. Yes, kakain siya ng 1.9 kilos, but incomplete, right? Ano yung effect niyan? Yung pagkain niya ng 1.9 kilos. Basically, sinasabi lang natin na dapat siyang kumain ng 1.9 kilos of feed. How about letter D? The broiler is 1.9 kilos. No, it does not relate to feed conversion ratio. So, ang pinakatamang sagot now here is letter C. The broiler should eat 1.9 kilos of feed to produce 1 kilogram of gain. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng feed conversion ratio of 1.9 kilos. That your broiler or your animal should be fed with 1.9 kilos of feed to produce 1 kilo of gain. So letter C is the correct answer. How about question number 3? A layer strain of chicken. So may mga choices ka, hinahanap natin yung layer strain na manok. Peterson ba, Starborough, H&N, or Ross? So we need to understand what is a layer strain, right? So, sa manok, dalawa lang naman. Or sa poultry, dalawa lang naman yung kinokonsume natin dyan. Either that be, dalawang product lang yung kinokonsume natin. Whether that be yung egg ng manok or yung meat ng manok. So that is why we have two types of strain, major types of strain. We have layers pertaining to the strain of chicken or breed of chicken that is specifically for the production of egg. Kasi mabilis yung production nila ng egg. That is why they are used primarily to produce eggs na binibenta sa market. The other one is called broiler strains. And broiler strains is regarding sa meat. Okay? Meat are bred, broiler strains, they are bred naman for meat production. Kasi mababa ang kanilang feed conversion ratio. That means for every feed that is consumed, they require less amount of feed to gain weight for their meat. So let's study the choices. Peterson, ano ba tong strain na to? Peterson is known as a broiler strain. So for meat production po yan, not for laying eggs. How about Starborough? Starborough is also a broiler strain. They are bred for rapid growth and meat production at hindi sa pangingitlog. How about Ross? Ross is a well-known broiler strain pa rin. So meat yan, and meat din si Ross. They are also bred for efficiency in meat production rather than laying eggs. So you are now left with the choice of H&N. And tama naman, ang H&N is a layer strain for the production of egg. In fact, the company H&N, in fact, yung H&N na yun, ay nakuha dun sa pangalan ng company, a well-known company that specializes in breeding layer chickens. Such as for this article, sabi niya, H&N celebrated 70 years of excellence. And here, we can see that that H&N is indeed a layer breeding company founded in USA. So the correct answer is H&N. Question number 4. What is the average incubation period for goose egg? So, tinatanong, incubation daw ng goose egg, we have 18, 33 to 35, 28 to 32, or 42 days. Question, what is incubation? Diba? Incubation refers to the period of time it takes for an egg to hatch after being laid properly and incubated or brooded by your mother poultry. So, yon. Incubation is basically yung time kung saan naitlog siya and how much time do we need para mag-hatch siya kapag sinubject natin into artificial incubation or natural incubation that we also referred as brooding. Ang itlog kasi, kapag naiitlog yan, kailangan niyang limliman, di ba? So yun ang tawag doon sa paglilimlim na yon, technically is brooding, wherein we allow the mother hen na upuan yung mga eggs niya so that the eggs will be contained in a heated environment and it would take days for them to hatch. Now, some farmers, they don't want to use natural brooding, kaya sinasubject nila into an artificial incubation kung saan may machine that is producing adequate heat for the eggs, and then later on it would take them X amount of days for it to hatch. So we are talking about the incubation period for goose, right? How many days does an egg of a goose hatch? So ilang araw bago siya mag-hatch? 18 days is too short for a goose egg. Primarily, ang 18 days would be for chicken. Typically, around 18 to 21 days. 33 to 35 days is slightly higher or longer for goose eggs. So this is not also the correct answer. 42 days naman is masyadong mahaba. 42 days is for ostriches. Okay? incubation day yan for ostrich. So we're now left with the correct answer, which is 28 to 32 days. So the incubation period for goose egg is 28 to 32 days. Now, this next question is related, the next question is related to the incubation period question. Pero iba lang yung pagka-phrase niya. Sabi sa fifth question natin, Cairina moschata eggs take how many days to hatch? So it's also pertaining to the incubation period. Okay, how many days to hatch also pertains to the incubation period. But this time, the animal that we are identifying yung incubation period nila is not a goose, but Cairina moschata. O, ano ba kasi ang Cairina moschata? Cairina moschata is the scientific name for Muscovy duck. And apparently, Muscovy duck have a relatively long incubation period compared to other domestic ducks. So, mas mahaba-haba yung incubation duck ng Muscovy duck as compared to other domestic ducks and as compared to goose as well. So, let's now move with the choices. Again, nasabi natin, ang incubation period na 21 days is more likely chicken yan. 42 days is more likely ostrich, right? 28 to 32 days na discuss natin sa previous question natin kanina. This is the incubation period for goose. So we are now left with 33 to 35 days, which is longer, slightly longer than the goose and some other duck animals, duck breeds, say. So 33 to 35 days is the correct answer. So ang incubation period for Cairina moschata is 33 to 35 days.